Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So we've just installed Kali on VirtualBox, and if you haven't installed Kali Linux yet, you can check my video on how to install Kali Linux using VirtualBox. But wait, before you start hacking around, there are a few things you really should set up first. So here are my pro tips to configure your Kali properly before you actually start using it. Let's get started. First things first, make a snapshot. Right now, everything is fresh and clean. If something breaks later on, you can easily go back to this state. So for this, you just need to go to Machine here on the top, then click Take Snapshot. And you can leave this as default and click OK. Okay, great. Now let's update Kali. Run these commands to make sure your system is up to date and tidy. So first we run sudo apt-get update. Type your sudo password here. It's the same password you use for login. And then we go for sudo apt-get upgrade -y so we can actually update these packages. If you're running this for the first time, this may take a while, but no worries, it will be fine. If you see this screen here, don't worry, just press select yes, then press enter. Okay, this is finished, so let me clear the terminal screen. And I also recommend running sudo apt-get full-upgrade -y for a more aggressive upgrade. And to remove cache and unnecessary packages, we will first run sudo apt-get auto remove -y. Let me clear the screen. And now we will run sudo apt-get auto clean. No need to use -y here. And next, you should be installing the tools you'll be using on Kali. And in this tutorial, we'll be installing Tor. So in this case, we run sudo apt-get install Tor -y. And whenever you need to install one of those tools, you'd usually replace Tor for the name of the tool, and that's it. Next, let's make GRUB a bit more secure. So go ahead and type sudo nano /etc/default/GRUB. Then go ahead and you should find the line GRUB disable recovery equals true and uncomment it. Then press Ctrl X, Y and enter to save and exit. Okay, so now we should identify services that we don't need that maybe are running on the system. So for this, first, let's list all running servers by typing sudo service status all. And this will list all the services that are in the system at the moment. And then here we can search for some services that maybe they have that plus sign, meaning that it's running at the moment. So for example, let's say you saw that the SSH service is running. Maybe on your side it has a plus sign, or maybe Nginx, and you decide that you don't need any of those services running. So what you can do here is to stop all the servers that you don't need and also disable them. So first we have to stop the service. So let's say we don't want to use SSH service. So first what we have to do is to sudo systemctl stop, and then the name of the service, in this case is SSH, enter. And next we have to disable it. So just go for sudo systemctl disable SSH. And that's it. It's disabled now, which basically means that whenever we start the system, it's not going to be running by default. Okay guys, so really important step here. So we will configure your proxy chains. So first, locate where your proxy chain is, type locate proxy chains. And the first line will usually be where your config file is located. So we are gonna edit that line, so just copy it. And then you type, let me clear this screen here, then you type sudo nano and then the path of the config file. And the thing is, if you're running a lot of scans online with your IP address will end up in some block list. And what could happen is that you could become a professional fire hydrant selector when using your home network. So we will configure some proxies here to avoid that. There are different algorithms you can use for proxies. So you can use strict chain, random chain, as you can see there on the file. So if you see this file closely, we have one of the algorithms uncommented already, which is the strict chain. But there are other methods we can use. For example, here the round robin chain, also random chain. Anyway, make sure you have proxy DNS, this line here, uncommented. And on the bottom, all the way to the bottom of the file, you will find this line here, SOX4 configured. Okay, first, actually, we'll be configuring Tor as proxy, but you can see you can use other proxy server as well, and you can configure them just like the instructions here. We can ignore that for now because we'll be configuring Tor, which is the default one. But if you want me to make a video on how to configure other proxy servers, leave a comment there for me. So for now, let's go to the last line and type SOX5 and then the same IP address as we see on the line above. And also on the top of this file, we will find strict chain, this line uncommented. We should go ahead and comment it, and we should uncomment the line dynamic chain. Then we press Ctrl X to save, Y and enter, and that's it. So remember the Tor package that we have installed. So now we will start the services. So sudo service Tor start and sudo service Tor status to check the status and confirm it's running. So as you can see, it's saying that the service is disabled, although it's active. So what we need to do now is to enable the service. So just run sudo systemctl enable Tor to make sure it will run whenever we boot the system. And now we just run sudo service Tor status again to check whether it was effective. And as you can see, it's showing as enabled there. So all good. Okay, so how you run it, how you actually use it. For this, you can just type ProxyChains and then the command you want to use. So say you want to use nmap, so you'll be using ProxyChains and then nmap. And nmap will be executed through the proxy servers that you configured. In this case will be Tor. So as an example, let's run ProxyChains Firefox to start Firefox. Okay, it started. So we can, for example, check our IP address to see whether it was effective. In general, when you use Tor, it will show us, it will say it cannot detect your IP address. So let's see. Just go into DuckDuckGo here to search for my IP address. So what is my IP address? And then there it is. Your IP address is unavailable. So that's the expected result. So all good here. ProxyChains up and running. And if you were doing some pen test, for example, on wireless networks or some other forms of networks, it's important to change your MAC address every now and then. So on Kali, we can use a tool called Mac Changer. So I'm doing here the Mac Changer --help, and you can see -A and -A, they will change your MAC address. Here you'll be using -A. So to make sure it really changes your MAC address, I recommend you actually do it like this. So first, let me clear the screen, and then you can run sudo IP link set ET80 down. So you put your interface down first, and then you can run the command. So you can run sudo mac changer -A ET80 because you actually run there. And you can see I already have a new MAC address configured. So let's sudo IP link set ET80 up. Okay, now we are back online, and let's check our MAC address now. So IP link show ET80, and as you can see, our MAC address now is the same as the one that MAC changer set, so it worked. We should be ideally changing our MAC address every now and then, and if you want me to make a video on how to do that automatically, just leave a comment there for me. Okay, but now as a bonus tip, just go ahead, make Kali yours, and get a nice capybara for your wallpaper. And guys, I guarantee you, your system will be running much better, your performance will be better. So go ahead and do it, it's really, really important. Guys, if you like this content, remember to like this video to support the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, and see you next video.